All right, hello and welcome everyone to our week 4 launch. And this is also a way for me to make sure that we are all on the same page as we get into week 4. I am almost done with grading your week 2 discussion boards. I actually have all of week 1 and all of the question 1 from week 2. I'm halfway done with the questions, the second question of week 2, and I should have that done by this evening. I sent you guys all an email about the discussion questions, and I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page. But a couple things that I want to make sure that you are aware of. So um, in the class, you have on the side, you have the, oops, let me get down far enough. So you have the, and actually let me go to make it easier. Let me go to student preview so that you guys can see what it looks like. All right, so here's the class. And on the side, you have the weekly lessons, discussion question instructions, discussion question Socratic prompts, discussion question evaluation and grading, and you also have the discussion board example. That one is new. Okay. But I want to make sure that we're all on the same page, that you are abiding by the actual discussion question instructions, and making sure that you pose a question at the end of your thread that you post, and also responding to questions, the questions that your classmates pose. So I want to bring up, I'm going to open up the discussion board example. And the discussion board example, I'm going to kind of, looks like this. And there's a little bit more to it at the bottom, but it looks like this. And basically, the whole point of the discussion board question, so it says example of a good discussion board post includes discussion question, and basically you also want to do the sources that support the response. So basically what you want to do is, as you can see in this post, and I did email that to you, is that it has the citations in it. So it references Keating and the page number. It references the casual business, Netflix and the $40 late fee. It also references the video from TV Junkie. It's all referenced there in the actual post. It also, at the very end, has a question. Oh my gosh, what is that question? At the end, it says, and they say, with this, I leave you all with my question for the week. What do you believe was the determining factor in the movie rental industry that made Netflix superior from the rest? Why did the much larger movie rental companies such as Blockbuster struggle? So this is a question that is to engage each other in discussion. So other classmates would then respond to that question. And then this will be part of the 3 substantive responses or substantive posts. So basically, you want to make sure that in your posts, you answer the question, you include the course material, and if you use any of the weekly lesson material, if you use anything outside of that, you are going to have to make sure that it's very identifiable into where you got the source, or you're going to have like a reference at the very end, like we have here. So if you're referencing the Netflix book, you can reference Keating, Netflix, page number. If you're referencing a video, you can just say, that from the TV Junkie video. That's totally fine. Now, you also need to do the 3 substantive posts, and this will be the answer to what your classmates had written. So if you're reading this response and you see the questions, what do you believe was the determining factor of the movie rental industry that made Netflix superior from the rest? This is where you'd respond to that, and maybe you can also use backup from, say, like this or the video as well. This is more than just I agree that Netflix is superior to Blockbuster. That's not substantive. That doesn't really tell me anything. But you want to make sure that your responses are intelligent. Now, I really do want to make sure that, you understand this. Also, make sure that, that we, that you make sure that you are aware of the discussion question instructions. And it does break it down to your initial response to the question and then the substantive posts. And it does give you a number count, but actually the number count for the 75 to 100, you're probably going to write more if you're going to properly answer the question, plus have your citations and that sort of thing. But your actual Socratic question, the question that you pose at the very end, should be at the end of your initial thread, the one that you're answering the question, responding to the question that I pose each week. You can also pose additional questions when you are responding to your classmates' posts. So that's totally fine. The whole point is we're starting to engage each other in discussion. So yes, you have those again on the side. Also, another thing that I want you to notice that I've added to the side, in addition to, the discussion boards that you can all access, the ones that you can access, is also on the side, we have a couple additional web links. One is called Netflix Life and What's on Netflix. So if I click on Netflix Life, it brings you to a website called Netflix Life. And it gives you some of the latest information as it pertains to the world of Netflix. So you have Netflix originals, what to watch, and also as you go down, there might be some stuff about some of the shows that you like. So it does have things like Netflix new releases, so you can, what are the latest releases on Netflix? You can go down even further. New movies and show on Netflix in February, that sort of thing. So this is a really good website for you to access all things Netflix. Also, there is another website called What's on Netflix. And it also gives you more. Oh, I didn't realize it was going to take us right there. But it also gives you more information about all things Netflix. I didn't expect it to open up right in. I wanted to open another one. But, and this also gives you not only what is new on Netflix, but also for those, you can see what's new on Netflix in other regions. So that's kind of fun. So you've got that. The other thing that I want you to make sure that you're aware in here is that starting with next week's discussion, I'm really going to be abiding by, the discussion question evaluations and grading. So make sure that you review that so that you're aware of that. And again, all of this, all the information that you need is on the side. So it's not a mystery to you. Also, when it comes to your weekly lessons, it's also something that's not a mystery to you. And it will tell you in your weekly lessons. So like for this past week, you had some readings. And so when you clicked on the readings, it tells you what you need to read and everything. So you can click on that and it tells you exactly what you need to read. And then it also has a video. And that one just went straight to the video. I didn't mean for it to go there. And I've always said that I'll be a governor for all Illinois. Thank you. So even the playing... So it took us to that. I didn't mean to. But there you go. So you also have the video that's in there as well. So for this week's, for weekly lesson 4, I do want to note that the video that you have in here, you just need to start watching. Let's see, does it give me the information? No, I'll go straight to it here. Sorry. The information that it has in here, it says you can watch, you just need to watch about 22 minutes of it. It might start halfway through the video, so you might have to start over. Okay. So you do have a little bit of time for your week 3 discussion questions. If you need to make your substantive posts, also if you need to add a question, so you can, kind of, add, hey, here's my updated post, my thread, here's my question. But please in the future, make sure post with question in the same thread. But you do have some time for your week 3 to add a couple more things. Now, ideally, I would love for you to have all of this done by end of day on Sundays. But some of you wait to the last minute to post everything. So I will give you a little bit more wiggle room if you're going to respond to your classmates' questions. Also give you a chance to respond to what they posted on your thread. Again, to engage in discussion. But ideally, we really need to start working on the next week's lesson. And I would like to start grading it. I know I've been a little bit delayed on our first 2 weeks, but really want to start grading these by the midweek of the following week. So I'd like to start grading week 3, ideally starting on Wednesday. Okay, so I do have that in the example. It says when you should have all this done. Another thing that I want to point out to you is that if you haven't posted any responses, so haven't answered any of the DQs, try to do that sooner rather than later. But if you've missed some, do the current ones first before you go back. And also, again, starting this week, week 4, I'm going to really be strict on the evaluation and grading. Okay? The other thing that you need to know for this week, my cheat sheet here. So for the readings in here, you have your chapters 9, 10, 11, and 12 to read for this week, but it's in the weekly lesson. And then in here, you have chapter 3. So Netflix and the Myth of Choice. Another thing that I've made available for you is the research paper. So it's research paper number 1, Netflix, historical review of Netflix. It's a 5 to 7 page paper, and you can actually look at that now in assignments. So there it is. And you're going to want to make sure that you download the overview instructions. And then also, um, this you want to utilize the MLA. So if you do click on the Writing Center, it takes you to the Writing Center website. And to actually get to the style guides, sorry, as you'll see on the side, you'll see documentation styles, APA, MLA, etc. So if you click on that, it will give you all of the information that you need to write proper MLA and that sort of thing. So you do have these tools to write a good paper. Now, I just wanted to make you aware that you should start thinking about that. We're not finished with our history of Netflix, and that's what you're going to be, concentrating on. But it is a good time for you to start thinking about that. Week 6 will just be dedicated for you to be working on your research paper number 1. So there won't be any discussion questions that will be due on week 6. There won't be any readings or that sort of thing. But if you're behind, you definitely want to make sure that you've caught up on the readings and have a good understanding of everything that's due. So as we get ready for week 4, and week 4 is called Netflix History, the Domination, 2005 to 2008. You should have a lot of fun with that, with the chapters from the Netflix book, the video, and the chapter 3 from here. So if you have any questions, email me. If you need to spend more time and want to discuss my office hours, I have face-to-face office hours that we can meet virtually on Tuesdays from 11 until 1 p.m. But you have to make that appointment in advance. So you have to email me. Oh my God, email me in advance. And then the same thing Wednesdays from 1 until 3. Now, I do want to note that this Wednesday, I do have an appointment. I want to make sure of the time. So my office hour this Wednesday will end a little early. So I'll probably start it, instead of at 1, I'll probably start it at noon this Wednesday, and it will end at 2. And so I will post that update for you in an announcement starting on probably tomorrow or Tuesday. I'll post an additional announcement, and I'll put it in this announcement as well. All right, a lot going on, but I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. And so check out that email, or check out all the things on the side, how to properly do the DQs, a great example, and all that fun stuff. And now you also have a peek at my lair at home. Yes, those are vinyl records. Those are 7-inch records up there. And then you'll also see over here, those are all DVDs. And what you can't see are Blu-rays and CDs. And there's also CDs around me as well. Yep, I'm a media maven. All right, so good luck. Have a good week. And yeah, that's it.